Good evening. I'd like to call the meeting to order for September 18th, 2024 for the Colerain Enforcement Review Board. Would you all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Welcome to all in attendance, Township staff, my fellow commissioners. A friendly reminder to all to please silence your electronic devices at this time. Could we have a roll call, please?
Ms. Baldwin?
Here.
Mr. Henson? Mr. Schaefer?
Here.
Ms. Westfall?
Here. Okay. We have our minutes before us for the August 21st meeting. Do you have any corrections or changes? No. Okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes.
Sorry.
Hold on just a second. I did give Helen some changes that we needed, but
Okay.
that's fine. It's just a name change and we'll be fine, but go ahead.
Okay, so I make a motion that we approve the minutes.
Okay.
I second that motion.
We need a roll.
Ms. Baldwin?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Ms. Westfall?
Yes. Okay, we are to the public address portion. This is the time when citizens can address us, the review board, on any items that are not on tonight's agenda. If there's anyone here for a public hearing, we'll hear that at the time, excuse me, at the time we talk about the property. I see no one here to speak, so we'll move on. So we move on to old business. These are past cases. The first one is SERB 24-15, 2856 Sheldon Avenue.
So this is a case that we've heard, I believe, at the last two meetings. It is case 24-15, 2856 Sheldon Avenue. We spoke with the owner earlier today. He has not registered yet. He mentioned that he's still working on everything. He said he was going to try to be here tonight, but wasn't sure if he'd be able to make it. There is a current photo in your packet from today. Pretty much just shows that he is cutting the grass to kind of minimal standards and that there's no real notable change in the property. Our recommendation at this point is that we have given a couple extensions, and that hasn't seemed to move the property forward. And so our recommendation does stand to where it should be assessed the $500 for the registration fee.
Do we have a motion?
Actually, I have a question. Did he had indicated he was trying to sell it. Have you seen any indication that he has listed it for sale or?
Today he mentioned that he might meet with somebody tomorrow, but that everybody tries to lowball him and he's got a number in mind, and kind of, in my opinion, the same story that we've been receiving from him.
Yes, that sounds very familiar to what we heard last month and the month before, so, okay.
Mhm.
I make a motion, or I move that we accept the recommendation and assess the fee and have it
I
as
second the
staff has
motion.
recommended, sorry.
Okay.
Ms. Baldwin?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Ms. Westfall?
Yes. Our next case is SERB case 24-16 for property at 7068 Memory Lane.
Yeah, so this is, as you said, case 2416, 7068 Memory Lane. This is one we have heard before. The gentleman that I believe he bought the house from a family member, he was in here, I think, roughly 60 days ago. And he is in the process of rehabbing the house. There are at least one current picture from the day in your packet, some other newer photos in the agenda packet as well. It looks like he's making a lot of progress. The project does continue to move forward. I have not had any communication with him since the last meeting.
It appears in your picture that he's got a truck there doing something.
That truck's been there a fair amount. The rear yard of that property was pretty much 100% engulfed in brush along with down the left side of the home. And he has been working to clear all of that out. Currently, there's at least one brush pile back there, but he did have, pretty good project there, getting it removed and bringing it back to being a yard. But I think that truck he used when they did the driveway and the other cement work and some of that.
You think the truck is just parked there permanently for now? Or-
I think for as long as that project's gonna go on, that truck's gonna be there. It's there pretty much every time I've drove past.
Okay.
I'd just like to say, due to the fact that he has made progress on the property, he's still working. And other than that, I think we should give him another 30 days and try to make contact with him again. Just my suggestion, because he was so forthcoming and willing to work with us last time, I believe. It's up to you, though. He's only had one. Extension.
Okay. I make a motion that we give him an extension for 1 month.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
Ms. Baldwin?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Ms. Westfall?
Yes. Our next case is SERB case 2418 for 3013 Niagara Lane.
This was one we have heard before. We had made contact initially with a family member of the owner who at that time had expressed that there was, some medical issues going on and they were trying to figure everything out. I have not been able to make contact with that family member or anybody related to that property since the last meeting. The grass has quit being maintained at this point. We are planning on, issuing a notice of violation for that. Otherwise, I do believe the house is entering foreclosure. There are some notices on the door. I've reached out to the property management company, but have not been able to get a response. And that property management company is not, registered with the township like they normally do. So at this point, it is my recommendation that we do move forward, or that you guys do move forward with the assessment.
If we move forward with the assessment and it does go into foreclosure, does that fee get paid when it does sell?
I believe so.
Okay. And just a little administrative note, on page 29, it says 3113 instead of 3013.
Okay.
I just had to double check that I had the address right, so. I move that we do take the staff's recommendation and assess the vacant fee against the property.
I'll second it.
Ms. Baldwin?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Ms. Westfall?
Yes. Okay, we will move on to new business. The first case under new business is SERB 2420 for address 7431 Eagle Creek Road.
Okay. This is new business, case 2420, 7431 Eagle Creek. This property, up until today, I received no communication from the owner. Today, he did come into the township building, was very friendly. I guess he stated that he forgot to update an address on the auditor for mailing or something to that effect. So he is in the process of registering this, and he is going to immediately address the other property maintenance violations in regards to tall grass and the falling down gutters that you can see in the photos. So, you know, at this point, my recommendation would just be to table this until the next meeting to ensure that he, you know, registers.
Okay. Any discussion?
I was just kind of looking over it again. I see no reason not to grant an extension. I move that we do extend this until the next meeting, which I don't have that date in front of me,
October 16th.
until the October 16th hearing, to be sure, give him another 30 days to register the property.
I'll second it.
Ms. Baldwin?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Ms. Westfall?
Yes. Our next case is SERB 24-21 for location 3633 Blue Rock Road.
Okay. This is case 2421, 3633 Blue Rock Road. This property, I do believe, has been vacant some time. The owner of record is an LLC. You will see that reflected in the auditor and in the report from Secretary of State, I believe, showing who the registered agent is.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I don't have that in my packet.
Yeah.
It's not in the packet?
No, it goes straight from that one into the next one for Niagara. Don't have anything in between.
We do have the new business and the first page that we would use, but there's no detail pages on it.
Yeah, if you look at page 42 to 43, it just jumps from one property to the next.
Why is that not there? Well, my apologies, you don't have it in front of you, and I don't have it in my packet either.
How about we extend it for 30 days and revisit it then?
We can do that.
Any discussion?
Well, I have a question about the property, because it's, you know, about a year ago, it was really cleaned up. I mean, they painted the building and fixed up the property. This is the ice cream stand on Blue Rock. And it, you know, looked like even last year, somebody was gonna occupy it and or run it. But I guess you haven't heard anything from the owners or the management.
Yeah, I have had one email correspondence with the owner. He did disagree that the property was vacant. He said he uses it for storage, which was not an appropriate use for that zoning area. He said they do plan to open it up, but I believe he has a different business that has taken priority. So this one's been kind of on hold. But, you know, I'd love to go into all the detail, but without you guys having the information, you know, I think it'd probably be better if we just tabled it and held all discussion for the next meeting. If you guys are okay with that?
I would agree with that. I move this one to the Blue Rock Road to the next meeting on October 16th.
And I second that.
Ms. Baldwin?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Ms. Westfall?
Yes. Our next case is SERB 24-22, and that's, location is 2563 Niagara.
All right, Niagara Street. This property has been vacant for quite a while. The owners, Robert and Patty Sanger, I've had no contact with them. There is an OpenGov case number that you can reference. It's VCNT 24-29. I initially sent our letter on May 14th with a second letter on June 24th of this year, and then the final letter was sent August 22nd, giving a date of tonight's meeting. All mail's pretty much been returned. The property's vacant. As you can see in some of the pictures, the electric meter's removed. There's HUD postings on the front door. I have looked up that HUD case number that was in the pictures. I can't find anything. I can't find anything on the HUD home store or really any website. The grass has been cut tall. We have cut it this year. It's just very clearly, vacant and not getting any attention.
I do have personal knowledge that I believe both, if not, I know one, but I believe both have passed away, owners of this property. I can confirm that through the recorder's office if necessary, but I do believe that they have both passed away. Moving forward is, if there's nobody there to claim it, maybe contact the port to see if they would purchase it. That's the only thing I have.
It's definitely vacant.
The only reason I would hesitate to assess a fee against it is if it does go to the family, putting extra cost on them dealing with this, it just makes me hesitant to, without confirming. I would prefer to know whether or not they are going to do anything if both people have passed. It just seems unfair to the family that they just may not be getting the communications at this time. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah. But we have cut the grass once, so they're not
Yeah, I mean, our,
active in what regular maintenance there. Yeah, that's why we discuss. You have an opinion, Mr. Schaefer?
Okay, did you say that, there's no one even claiming it? Did they even know, are there any family members available to?
I've had no communication with anybody in relation to this house. I did speak with one neighbor. He said he hasn't seen anybody there in a long time. He didn't know how long. There was some trash and rubbish kind of around back. Our initial notice was posted on the door middle of May, and it's still there. Some of the other notices that are on the door are so faded that you can barely make out anything.
Been there a long time.
It's my belief that the house is abandoned.
Even when I had contact with the family back in 2016, their children were not active in their life. But again, I don't know if something changed. But I know that for a fact because we had Adult Protective Services involved back then.
Okay, well, I agree that maybe we should find out a little bit more information
Okay.
and postpone the decision for another month.
You'll make that a motion?
Yes, I make a
Okay.
motion that we postpone the decision on this property for 1 month.
I will second that motion.
Ms. Baldwin?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes.
Ms. Westfall?
Yes.
So that I can be clear, specifically, what more information are you looking for on this property? So that I know what
My
to
concern
try and
is that
find.
if the family does realize that there's a property, I wanted to give them a little bit more time to be sure that people are deceased and that it is truly abandoned, just because putting an extra $500 on a family that may be strapped already doesn't seem right without verifying that that is indeed the case, that they are no longer with us. I know that doesn't follow a strict law, but I feel like giving them another 30 days, let's see what happens, and then we can be sure they are deceased in that time.
Is the board requesting a title search, or what kind of information would you like us to obtain?
I think if
Could-
we started with, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, you started first, and I misunderstood
If
you.
we started with if the taxes were paid in the last two rounds, that would be, somebody would be doing something if their taxes are being paid, because the title company wouldn't be paying them just because they got the notice. So that's a start. Do you have a better idea?
I mean, not
Or
to
another
be
idea.
overly blunt, but a death certificate, then we know for sure that they are not with us anymore, and they're not in a nursing home somewhere and just not unable to communicate with us at this time.
And I can help you guys through probate records as well with respect to the property. I'm looking it up right now. Robert Sanger, it looks like died in 2018.
Okay.
So I don't know about the other name that's on this as the owner, but I can work with you guys on that. Yeah, I don't see anything for Patty.
Yeah,
So-
just trying to be considerate, just because I know family going through this, it could be a difficult time. So just want to verify that they really aren't here, and how long the family's had to come clean the house if they had any plans to do so.
Okay. The taxes had been paid at the last tax bill. It was
Okay.
$2,900 roughly. We can't tell if that was paid by the family or if that would be paid by the mortgage lender, because it is our experience that the lender will pay property taxes.
Okay.
There is a mortgage on the property. Or do you know that,
It has a lender listed on the tax record.
okay,
Yeah, the tax bill is mailed to a lender.
okay. Can you contact the lender?
We will try.
We appreciate it. I just trying to show a little heart and make sure we're doing it the right way.
Absolutely. That's completely understandable.
Any other questions before we move on?
Okay, so. Okay, so our next case is SERB 2423. That's for location 2459 Blue Lark Drive.
So this is another one. Sorry, the projector cut off here on us.
Thought we were past that.
Fortunately not, and everything went crazy when it did here. This property, I do believe, is vacant. The owner of record is Ruth E. Smith. You can reference the OpenGov case number VCNT 24-7 or 24-27. Our initial letter was sent May 14th. The second letter was sent June 24th. And the final certified letter was sent August 22nd of this year with a date of tonight's meeting. The owner and tax address are the same. Some of the mail has been returned, some has not. Last I checked, the certified mail was in the process of being returned. We had a tall grass complaint this year. I do believe we did cut the grass. I did talk to a neighbor who confirmed that the home is vacant. He also stated that he occasionally parks one of his vehicles in the driveway to make it look less abandoned. You can see in the auditor report where the addresses match. This was the update on some of the mail, just evidence showing that some of the mail was returned, and that the post office did leave a notice that there was certified mail to be picked up, and that their time to forward mail had expired.
Okay.
These are copies of the letters that we sent, showing the tracking number.
Did the neighbor say anything about, the owner, or?
He didn't. When I was there and spoke to him, he was on his way to work or something, and it was just a very quick conversation. Wanted to make sure he wasn't in trouble for his car, just kind of explaining, why
Yeah,
why that there was, he wanted me to know that it was vacant, but that it was his car and that
That
we
he was
didn't do
trying to make
anything
it
with
look like it wasn't vacant so that
Yes.
it didn't get broken
But it was
into.
just a very quick, brief
Okay.
exchange.
Okay.
Just curious, because you said that the mail had been getting forwarded. Are you able to find that information? I mean, I guess that would be the family was probably forwarding it at some point, I would assume.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, it just struck me as if they had forwarded it at one point, there's probably a reason why. Okay.
Go ahead.
Can we find out, or do you know what address that was being forwarded to?
I do not.
Is that something we can find out?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
The post office went,
I'm not sure if the post office will relinquish that information even to us.
We'll open.
I mean, maybe if I had a warrant for such information, I don't know if their willingness to release that to me. I can check, but
And I mean, you can see in the pictures, our original notice from May is still on the door.
Right.
The mailbox is, overflowing with mail.
Okay, so their carrier hasn't taken it back and said it's vacant.
No,
Okay. That was gonna be my next question.
but I mean, yeah,
Some
your
carrier,
day of picture still shows our original notice there
right?
and mail in the mailbox. The grass was, probably 2 feet tall when we went there in May.
Okay. And the only thing that's saving them now is we haven't had any rain. Okay.
So we don't have any idea what may have happened to the homeowner?
No, I do not.
No nosy neighbors this time?
No.
Any more discussion?
no.
Okay. I'd entertain a motion.
I move that we accept the staff recommendation and assess the fee against the property.
Okay, no, I will second that.
Okay.
Ms. Baldwin?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes,
Ms. Westfall?
Yes. Thank you. Okay.
That was our last case, but I believe at the last meeting, the board asked for an update on
did.
kind of our past cases that were sent to the trustees. So I wanted to provide that update very quickly.
would you like me to do? I have it right here in front of me. I already did it. Ready to do.
Have at it.
All right. For curb 24-16662 Daleview Road, that was sent to the trustees and it has been approved, and the assessment will be placed on the property for CERB 24-2 10342 Moonflower Court. That was sold on May 2nd, 2024. Trustees moved forward with it, but then we were made aware of it before the assessment was set down, and we did want to hit the brand-new homeowner with a $500 tax assessment to their taxes. So that was not sent down to the auditor. 9870 Week Road, that was also approved and will be sent down to the auditor. That was curb 24-5. Curb 24-11, 3292 Compton Road. That was also approved by the trustees and will be sent down to the auditor. Curb 24-12, 9871 Marino was also approved by the trustees and will be sent down to the auditor. And then curb 24-13, 9854 Laura Linda was also approved and will be sent down to the auditor. This coming Tuesday, they will hear 9839 Pippin. They will hear 6401 Duet Lane, and they will also hear 2848 Glen Air to approve to be sent down.
So that was last month's stuff.
That was.
Thank you.
And then I did just want to give a reminder that our next 3 meetings are scheduled for October 16th, November 21st, which I believe is a Thursday, and then December 19th, which I also believe is a Thursday.
What was the date of November again?
November 21st
Okay.
and December 19th.
Okay, I will not be at the October 16th meeting.
Thank you for letting us know. Okay, I would entertain a motion to close the meeting.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
I will second that.
Ms. Baldwin?
Yes.
Mr. Schaefer?
Yes?
Ms. Westfall?
Yes. Okay, thank you for coming, and we'll see you in October.